All right. Here we are. Let's see. Get this to work. Okay. All right, so we're going to try out a different angle here. See if this won't work. There we go. All right. So today we're going to do another build of the Heliospring flight controller. All right, this is my second one. My first one is still going pretty well. Still flying well. Running on the butterfly and all that good stuff. Now I won't be able to show the computer work, unfortunately, this time, the way that I have this all set up, and I don't have all that fancy software and all that other nonsense. So this is the way we're going to do it. Let's get the iron on. Now this is the Speed Addict 210 from Catalyst Machine Works. This thing's been on my channel a bunch of times. It's nothing new. We just stripped off the center stuff here, and we're going to get this guy rigged up with this Heliospring. Now we also have, because this is not like an all-in-one, I got this. This is the Maytech FC Hub 6S. So this one's pretty cool. It's got a 10-volt regulator for video, so it should be a little bit smoother. It's got the current output pin right down here. If you can see, it says CURR, so we get the current into the Heliospring and all the other stuff. So we should be good to go with that. We got these DYS XSDs, or yeah, XSD30A. These guys, I've had these for a while, but they're tried and true. They work. Why switch them? I've got a Predator Mini, or the Predator, whichever version you want to call that. We got a Tramp. Pretty much everything I have is a Tramp, and we got an RSXR sitting right here, and an Axie, right? Okay, so this quad already had the motors and the ESCs on. This is what I'm left with after stripping it down. The only other thing I did was figure out my heights on here and how this is going to go and where I'm going to set this. Now, you can solder the signals, these signal lines. There is pins right there, and then it will break out into these pins. Let me get a poker. So you can solder the signal pins on right here, but it'll break out actually onto, let's see if you can see them, to these pins right here. But since I have this turned around, this would be made to go that way. Since I have it turned around, we're just going to put the signals right onto the Heliospring. And the only thing that's going to come off the bottom here is going to be the voltage for the camera system. So we just got a 470 microfarad 35 volt capacitor here, our input 14 gauge wire, and that's pretty much it. So we got to get this guy in now. I have this just here with just a screw and a nut to keep it as low as I could without touching. Alright, once we get this soldered on, we'll add on these little buggers, and then we can put the flight controller on top of that. So there we go. Let's get into this. Now I'm just pulling up the schematic for the Heliospring. Alright, let's get these ESCs on here. See something here. let's turn off this thing. Just make it a little. Okay. Let's get into this now. Tin this up. I got some of this already pre-tinned here, so like I said, the signal we're gonna put up top. So literally this guy's just gonna be for power, nothing else. I'm just going to stick the signal ground with the other ground just to get it out of the way and attach to something. Try not to melt everything. All right, signal. Right, this PDB is cool because it does have a current output, which is nice to have, and because it's just on a single line, you know, we don't have to like run it through or do anything crazy to get it to send the current information to the flight controller. So now at this point I will connect my camera power and my VTX power down here, because that's also going to be coming from down here, and then we're going to run our voltage lines out of here as well. So that's good there. This is going to be good back here. And the one thing, we have VCC and ground and currents, and these are our three output lines. So let's get some wire for that. Of course, this thing is giving me trouble. Get a piece of red. And we don't need much because it's all kind of in the same area. went green. Alright, chat is open as well if you got any questions. Alright, so these are going to be the main lines coming off of the PDB up to the flight controller. So that's ground, that's current, ground, and we're going to use voltage power so we can get the voltage reading in the OSD. So those are for that. Now this, we're going to connect the power lines to the ground and 10 volt pads that are on this. It's kind of far. I might have to extend these. Let's see. No, I think it'll make it. Alright, it's kind of tight. See, on the camera we can use 5 volt, but it might be alright. A little tight. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can leave that. Now this is our OSD controller that we don't need, and our video is going to go to free up some space. Just untwist these guys. Alright, so we got our OSD control and our video for OSD. Our ESC signals are hanging over here. Ready to go. Just got to get our VTX power under there, and we should be good to go to plop the flight controller on top. Ground, 10 volt. Now you could also run this off of VCC if you wanted to run it off of direct battery power. This one can support it. So can the camera, but I like to put them on a regulator. You know, I generally like to run them around 8 volts, but 10 volts should be good. We'll see what happens. You know, we can always fix that. The other Heliospring I have running, I do have a separate regulator running the VTX at that 8.4 volts, which is nice. Like I said, my flight controller has already been upgraded with the newest release candidate from Butterfly, which is RC8. Or RC, what is it? RC9, excuse me, RC9. Of course, I melted this screw a little bit. See what? I'm gonna unplug this. Just come out of the way. Okay. So now, if you could see here, okay, I think we're back on now. Of course, internet's going to give me problems. Alright, so like I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, we've got our ESCs here and our signal's just hanging, right? 10 volts for the camera, 10 volts for the VTX, and our output lines for the flight controller that are going to give it the power and everything it needs. Now we're ready to stick the flight controller on top. We got all our wires out to connect right to the flight controller. It should be a relatively quick and simple build. Now this flight controller, the front is this side, alright? Your USB needs to be out on this side. Alright, so let's just pop that bad boy on top and start figuring out what we're going to need, what we're going to use. First thing I want to do is get the lines connected up here for the power and the current. So I know current is going to go, here. Okay, on this right in front of the USB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this green line, run this back over here, and that'll go up like that, and then our input lines are going to go here. Now, because we're using analog current, we don't need to make any selections with that kind of stuff. Because on this board down here, okay, if you look at the board, you can see right here, if you were using the foreign one, you'd have to make a decision whether you were going to power this with 5 volts, or if you were going to use RX4 for telemetry, or just current and your voltage and all. But we don't have to make that selection. However, we do have to choose what we're going to run into the board, which is up here. Alright, you got RX, you got, 5 volts and VCC. So you need to choose which one, do not solder both. Okay, and we're going to run VCC into this guy, so we're going to bridge the VBAT pads right here, and that's going to allow the flight controller to accept battery voltage. Okay, so we got these stripped. Now the first 2 pins, on here are going to be your positive and your negative. So this front rail right here has got pretty much everything. It's got your receivers on this end, the last 4, and then the front 4. So I'll hook them up here. I got my schematic open, and then we'll get into it. So we got ground is the first one, then voltage, all right, and then we got video, camera control for your, OSD control of the camera, skip a space, then we got ground, 5 volts, 5 volts. And then it's S bus and smart port. This is S smart port. Smart port S bus, 5 volts ground. Why do I have an extra pad here? What do we got going on? Voltage ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Smart audio. Okay, smart audio is in here too. So we got ground in, voltage in, video from the camera, camera control, VTX video. So our 2 videos, and then we got skip a space, and then we got our which calls. All right, so. Grounds first. Then VCC. And then we got camera video. And then camera control. FTX. Camera control gets a ground. Alright. So now our camera is completely connected with everything that needs. Let's finish up this. This is going to be our current. So now we've got current. Okay. Now our receiver. Is going to go here to all that. Alright, so let's do that. Smart port is yellow. So now you're going to have to kind of do this with your own type of equipment, but I'm using FR Sky. So this has got smart port already inverted, ready to go. So smart port, and then S bus, and then 5 volt. Ground. Alright, takes care of that. Now the next thing is my VTX we're going to bring up here. Now white is going to be tramp telemetry, so we're going to run that to TX5. tramp telemetry and smart audio go to a TX. So we're going to run that to TX5. And I think I'm going to extend this wire to get it up to the front. So I can have a decent amount of slack back here. Heat shrink. And originally I was going to do this build on that quad box rad-x frame, but I decided not to. I like this better, and I wanted to use a full-size camera. That rad-x frame is only made for micro cameras. I'm not the biggest fan of micro cameras, for my big builds anyway. I mean, they're fantastic cameras in themselves, but as far as the 5-inch builds, I like a big camera. Alright. So BTX is connected. Alright, BTX receiver's connected. Alright, camera. And we're pretty much done. I mean, we're pretty much getting there. So we'll connect up the signal lines. Now the signal lines are on these tabs right here on the outside, if you can see, right here along this edge here. So you just want to put the, if you have it facing in its correct orientation, they go right on top. Now there is a pad on the bottom for the signal ground if you wanted to use that. I figured it'd be easy just to skip that part and put the ground with the ground down below. You don't really even need it. We'll connect our signals. And then we will polarity check. We'll almost be there. Okay, that's it. We are connected. At this point, we can test it, check it. We can get on the computer and see what we got. Make sure we got connection. First thing before we do anything is we need to do a continuity check. Make sure we don't have anything crossing. And I think we're good. Alright, so that's a good sign, but we still use a smoke stopper when we get to that. Now the cool thing is this board does light up with USB, or the receiver does power on with USB. So we will start with that. Make sure we've got connection.
Ignition off. Angle. Angle mode. Engine off.
Okay, we got connection right there, so that's good.
Low
Now,
battery.
I guess that's the telemetry. We got to get into all that. All right, let's go to the receiver. I'm just checking to make sure I got everything set right. All right, so we have that working.
Engine on. Engine off.
All right, we can set modes. All right, so I have this in the right spot.
Engine on. Engine off.
Now I'm just going to set my modes.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day. Angle
My
mode.
Tyrannus makes all the noise.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day. Angle mode.
Over after
Pink
crash.
monkey.
Okay, so we got all that. So we can test this guy when we go to arm it. Alright. Now in ports, we're going to need tramp, IRC tramp on TX5 because that's what we connected, right? And then run cam device. I have to look at my other one, but I think the run cam control is on UART3. Let me look at the schematic, see if I can't see. It's either 3 or TBS crossbar 3. Because 4 is used for telemetry. 5 I have smart port on. 3, 2. It doesn't actually say what UART these are running to. See, 2 is for SBus. I think 1 is smart port. 3 is run cam, and 5 is obviously tramp. They might have to get switched, but at least for the time being. Thank you, sir. Drone review man coming after it. I knew you'd be watching at some point. Alright. All this looks good. Let's disconnect this. We'll see what we can get when we get into the video and everything. When we plug this guy in. Let's connect the camera. Okay, let's connect the VTX antenna because you'll burn it out. Alright, let's plug in my screen. Alright, and let's bring in some power. Alright, first we're going to need a sip of coffee. Alright.
Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
Alright, so this is a good sign. Sounds like telemetry is working. Alright, there's our video. Alright. So that is all very good sign. Let's check our arm.
Telemetry lost.
Alright, they are all spinning in the
Engine off.
correct
Telemetry
direction.
recovered. Low battery.
Alright, so the telemetry is not actually coming through.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
So just the RSSI. So I'm going to assume that I have telemetry in the wrong spot. Alright, so video is working. Let's check smart port or tramp telemetry. And that's not coming through either. So TX5. I know this works because I have it on the other one. So we know the video is working. This is in the right spot. TX5. Alright. Go back to the computer. So now we got arm. Now we got that right. So that's all good.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day.
Beeper, stability.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day. Angle mode.
Let's see what we got here. Ports. It didn't save tramp, so let's save that. Let's go disable. Let's figure out where smart port is. I don't think it was there. It might be on 3. Alright, disconnect that.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
Alright, so I'm not getting full telemetry to come through yet. Where is my video? Now. Oh, you know what? That resets. It resets when you, I guess, when it reconnects to telemetry. So that means that's working now, so that's good. We can go to features, tramp. Okay, good. We got tramp now. I'm going to connect this to my channel, R8. Set, confirm. Alright, good. We got that. Now we got to figure out why telemetry isn't coming through.
98 dB.
To be honest, I don't really care, but I like to have smart port on the right pin so we can get the camera control on the right pin. It doesn't say, which is weird. It doesn't say on the schematic which one is which. It just has, you know, camera control. It doesn't say what UART it is. I know 2 is smart port, so I went 3 be telemetry. 3 would be crossfire. Definitely not 3, because 3 is not inverted. 5, 2. So it has to be 1. It has to be on 1. 4 is taken. 2 is taken. 3 is for crossfire, so it's not inverted.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Alright, so
Low
we're
battery.
connected back again. I'm just trying to figure out where the run cam device is. Pretty sure I have it connected on my other one.
Telemetry lost.
Tell you what, hang tight. check this one. So I'm pretty sure I have it working.
Telemetry lost.
Alright, so yeah, this does work.
Telemetry recovered.
Okay. Okay. So it does work.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
So now it keeps going to that. Now I can't get it into OSD.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Alright, so I'm just trying to figure out why it won't go into. It's not going into.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Left. It's not going into regular OSD. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Telemetry
Alright, so
lost.
this way.
Telemetry recovered.
Alright. Okay. This one works. Let's see where we're at. See where I have everything put in these ports. Alright, so 1 and 3. 1 is run cam device. 3 is smart port. Whoa.
Telemetry lost.
Let's plug this guy back in. So 1 run cam device. 3 is smart port. Oh, mid.
Angle mode. Engine off. Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Low battery.
Alright, so I don't think the FOXEER is working on the OSD.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Telemetry lost.
Telemetry's not coming in right.
Recovered. Low battery.
This isn't working, but it's working on that. Oh, micro.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
That's not working, so we're gonna bail on that. All right. Okay.
Engine on. Engine off.
All right. We've got this bad boy set up as about as far as I can see. Should be fine. The only thing is I couldn't get the run cam control working on this particular one, but that's because my guess is one of these is not right. The camera, not all the cameras accept it right now. One thing I didn't check was the current voltage.
Low battery.
All right, we got the current way off. We got voltage, that's correct. Current is way off. So we gotta fix that. See if we can fix that real quick. Sick Nasty FPV, thank you, sir. Let's see if we can't fix the scale a little. It's telling me it's using 29 amps. That's clearly not right. That ain't working either. Huh. I just have to raise the scale like a long way. Definitely don't seem right to me. Alright, so I got it down at 3.9. We're gonna leave it there. There's something don't seem right there. Alright.
Engine on. Engine off.
Okay. Alright. Let's finish putting this guy together. Now this frame is pretty sweet because it does have a couple of these little guys here, which make this thing awesome. Because it's got cool little things already designed for the antennas, which I love. So this will go like that. And this is going to go back here. This guy on here like this, and a couple of zip ties secures this guy super strong. There ain't no messing that up. And this is gonna go like this. That was dumb. But overall, a simple build for sure. Pretty easy. So now we just got to finish the touches here to kind of pack this guy up. Alright. Let's see, let's get these bolts on here. Now this board's pretty cool too because, you know, you got the rubber pieces already in there for your vibration isolation, which is nice. It's just a pretty straightforward build. And I did one, my last one I did with a 4-in-1. So this one we did with separate ESCs, which went just as easy. I don't feel like we had any problems. This one actually went a little easier than the last one. And my last build pretty much went great on stock PIDs. Or yeah, the stock PIDs. I just put my own rates in, which I will do. Okay. And we got that. Alright, let's bring in the top plate and get this fixed. And we will get it all tucked in. Now, if you want to get an acro frame, and you know, this frame's been out a while, but honestly, I still feel like it's one of the better frames out there because with these two solutions for both the antennas, it just makes it so easy to get it all, and it holds so tight. This thing for your VTX antenna is so tight and so good. Like, it just, you can see it just kind of holds it and supports it so tight with these two pieces. It ain't going no place. I've never had it break once, not on this one, not the way this is. And then your antenna's down there. Now these tubes, the originals broke probably 5 times over, but if you get the forever tubes from Brain 3D, they won't break as much on you either, so it's pretty sweet. Alright, let's see if we can get this all tucked in here. I'm just checking my fitment. I got this kind of set to fit like that. Okay, we're looking good. Tuck that in. Looks good, looks good. Definitely with all these wires up on top of this one, you're going to want to be careful with your battery strap. Try not to drag all your wires and stuff. You know, get it in there ahead of time. And pinch it in the frame like this. All right. This. Okay. this gets a long bolt here at the back. Alright, it goes through like that. Okay, top of it in there. Let's get these going through here. Oh shit, I messed up that. Alright. And this gets a couple nuts on the back. Holding all your antennas perfectly secure. Alright, I'm just kind of double checking everything. The camera pod fits like this. And that holds the camera in tight. Let's see, this is going to go like that. Put the battery in there. Looking pretty good. I'm just going to plug this in again just to check, make sure everything is okay.
Telemetry recovered. Low battery. dB.
Okay.
Engine on. Engine off.
Okay, so she looks good still.
Telemetry lost.
So I am comfortable with buttoning this up the rest of the way. Hello, Miss Pelders. Or Mr. I guess that ain't my place to determine that. Steph Pelders, what's up? Alright. That's tight. Let's get this and my 2.5. Turns on these here. Okay. Get my ESC covers in here. Now, these are good to protect your ESCs and also provide a little insulation from your frame. They do add weight, so that's, you know, that's up to you whether you're going to use something like this or not. I don't really care for the electrical tape look. I do like this. So bring in some zip ties. So pretty much all I got left to do on this guy here is to put my rates in, put my own rates, and you know, give it its maiden. So stay tuned for the maiden. The weather over here in the Northeast has been, it's literally been raining for a week, which is not normal. It's usually an April thing, not a May thing, but, you know, is what it is. When you got crap load of rain, you just build. Now for this particular build, I'm going to use the 4.8 V1S props. You see I got this all pretty blacked out. Not much color. And I got black V1S props. Now, I wouldn't so much recommend doing like an all blacked out drone, because let me tell you something, it can be hard to find depending on where you're flying and what you're doing, but I do like the all black look. So the antenna's going to bend up like that too. Yeah, this frame's held up like phenomenally well. This is probably like my fourth or fifth like rebuild on this frame that I've done. It's had, you know, a few different cameras, a few different flight controllers. I started off, I think, with the Maytech F405, and then I had problems with that, and went to Betaflight F3s, and then I went to Betaflight F4s, and then I went to the Bardwell, and now I'm switching over to a couple Heliosprings. I got a couple Bardwells, so I got to mix on both. So there you go, that's that. I mean, we're pretty much, we are done and good to go. Let's bring in the props so we can take a look. The finished product. We got the 50 48s, and I run them in reverse. So these are the 5-inch 4.8 pitch. There you go, one murdered out. One murdered out drone. That's it. Now I do have one other where is it? My GoPro mount is non-black, but it's okay. A couple zip ties for this. A couple thicker ones. You know, I might try one of these little rubber things I got from my drone drop box too. Kind of add some more, because honestly I prefer to have the custom mount, but I have to order one from somewhere. I think Brain 3D had them, I just didn't order it. Or if they don't have them, you know, you can get them to do it. They'll do pretty much anything you ask. They're good like that. Trying to sneak this through a little hole here. Now the problem with zip ties and zip tying on your GoPro is, honestly, they don't hold. It'll break. As soon as you crash, it's going to break. But there you go. Yeah, let's see if we can use this little doohickey on. This is some weird rubber strap that came in the drone drop this month. I mean, that might be good to put on after you get the camera in it. It's kind of squishing it down. Maybe. We'll see. Something to try. Alright, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've been live for, well, it says 68 minutes. I don't know if that's concurrent because this stupid thing disconnected me like 3 damn times. All I got left is I gotta put my PIDs on here, clean up obviously, and give it a maiden because that's it. We've got a rebuilt Heliospring. Now some of it, you know, because this was already a flying quad, it was kind of easier, left the motors on and everything. So we didn't have to do like a full-on dealio, but we got 1 Heliospring, 2 Heliospring. Now these are very different quads, these two, okay? They're very unique in their own right because this one is the floss style from Bob Ruge or Kebab FPV or whatever. This has got 2207 2500 kV motors and a form one. It's got the thinner arms and it's way lighter overall. Like this, I'm gonna put them on the scale because this thing is super heavy. It's a little older. This is a little more like a classic freestyle build, right? It's got that squished chameleon style. I mean, just look at the distance there versus the distance here. You know what I mean? This thing flies phenomenal. So, I mean, these are both built very similar. So, we'll see left on stock RC9. We will see, you know, how the characteristics are. And I will compare them. I'll compare, like I said, this is a typical freestyle build that a lot of people use. It's that squished X style. This is like a chameleon, very similar to a chameleon, very similar weight to like a rooster or a chameleon, which I actually just sold because I like the way this flew better. But yeah, so I'll test these guys out and we'll see what's what and we'll compare them and see how they fly. But they're, you know, they're very similar builds. The only problem, you know, I don't like a micro camera on my 5-inch. You know, this is the new Predator V2. Stay tuned for that, Predator Micro V2. You know, I do like the antenna system. This is the Floss 2 antenna system that I squished on here. Floss 2 GoPro holder. So that's cool. I'll tell you what, let's bring in the scale. And as far as the new build, like I said, I think all I got is rates left. Honestly, I think that's all I have left is to set up my rates. To be honest. Yeah, this thing is a very heavy build, for sure. Let's tear that off. Spin it around, I mean, you can see it. Alright, so we're talking a 412 gram dry weight. So you add a battery to that, it's another 160 grams, so you're looking at 570, 580, you know, about 580 grams all up, which is it's heavy, but it's a, you know, standard FPV weight. All you got to add the camera to, so you're talking, you know, 600 grams. So, you know, like a standard freestyle frame. And this one is 387, so 390, 400, so it's like 23, 24 grams, whatever it is, lighter. This one's a little lighter, you know, this one's a little heavier, but they're just, you know, different designs, so we'll see what we get out of them. All right, I think that's about it. We're gonna end the stream. For the few of you that watched live, I appreciate it. You know, as always, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting me. I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing all this stuff. You know, I really enjoy it. I like helping people out. You know I've helped a few people out in time, but you know, it's hard out there. It's hard out there to keep up with this stuff. It's takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, but there you go. Oh, and I do have a 1,000 sub giveaway. I'm giving away a full quadcopter. If you haven't gotten to that video, I'll put it, well, I guess you'll have to just go check my channel and find it. But I'm giving away this quad. It's a 4-inch quadcopter. It's not the fanciest thing, but it's free and it works. It flies, you know, let this be your beater if you want. 4-inch with some extra props, and I can set it up for FOXEER or Fly Sky. I do have some old Fly Sky receivers that I don't use anymore, so I can make it bind and fly for FOXEER and Fly Sky. It's got BL 32 ECs. It's got a Monster V1 camera, a Betaflight F3, Mach 1 VTX, and a little Pagoda antenna. You know, again, not the coolest thing, not the best thing, cheap little frame, but hey, it flies and it's free. So go subscribe to that video, follow the rules with that. That's the giveaway. If you haven't gotten it, when I hit 1,000 subs, once I hit 1,000 subs, we will give that away on that, you know, from that video. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to upload some rates on here and just do some finalizing on the computer. Make sure we're all good to go. And we got 2 butterfly quads. I had a good experience with this. I had a bad experience with the Kakute F4 V2. But with the Heliospring so far, very good. So there you go. FOXEER Predators. Here's the Micro V2. Here's the regular Predator. Phenomenal cameras. Definitely recommend them. Yeah, there you go. There's FPV quad greatness right here. I mean, what more do you want? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Got videos coming. Like I said, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.